Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic and fascinating coins from the United States Mint, the Delaware State Quarter from 1999. This coin might look ordinary at first glance, but let me tell you, it hides a story of history, design, and rarity that has made it one of the most sought-after quarters among collectors worldwide. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because this small piece of metal might just change how you look at your spare change forever. The Delaware State Quarter was the very first coin released in the famous 50 State Quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. This series became a major milestone in American numismatic history, honoring each of the 50 states with a unique reverse design. Delaware proudly took the first spot, marking the beginning of a 5-decade journey celebrating America's diversity and heritage. Because it was the first in the series, it already holds a special place in collectors' hearts. But what truly sets it apart are the details, the errors, and the unique qualities that make certain versions of this coin extremely valuable. Let's talk about its design. On the obverse, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. It's timeless, elegant, and deeply connected to American coinage tradition. But it's the reverse side that really captures the imagination. Designed by William Cousins, it features Caesar Rodney, a hero of the American Revolution, riding his horse on his historic journey to cast the decisive vote for independence in 1776. His ride from Delaware to Philadelphia became a legendary symbol of courage and patriotism. Every curve of the horse, every detail of Rodney's determined face, tells a story of a man who helped shape the destiny of a nation. This quarter isn't just a piece of currency. It's a miniature monument to freedom. Now, here's where things get truly interesting. Although millions of Delaware quarters were minted, not all of them are equal. Most were used in everyday transactions, tossed into vending machines, or forgotten in drawers. But a few, very few, escaped into the world with extraordinary minting errors that make them worth thousands today. The most famous of these errors is known as the spitting horse variety. Under close inspection, it appears as though a line or mark extends from the horse's mouth, almost as if it's spitting. This unusual flaw occurred due to a die crack during the minting process, and because it was never intentional, it instantly became a favorite among collectors. This spitting horse error can dramatically boost a coin's value, depending on its condition and visibility of the crack, but that's not all. There are also other rare variations where the coin shows doubling on the letters, slight misalignments, or weak strikes. These minting anomalies might seem small, but in the world of numismatics, they're pure gold. Each error tells a unique story about how coins are made, and collectors love these imperfections because they make the coin truly one of a kind. Combine that with a brilliant uncirculated surface, free from scratches, wear, or damage, and you've got yourself a coin that's both rare and historically important. What makes the Delaware Quarter even more fascinating is its timing. Being the first release in the 50-state series, it had an enormous production run, but early minting errors occurred before the process was perfected. That's why the earliest strikes and those with visible flaws are now commanding such high prices in the collector market. If you're lucky enough to find one that still shines like new, with sharp details and no signs of wear, you might be holding something incredibly valuable. Collectors around the world are constantly on the hunt for high-grade Delaware quarters certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the higher the value, especially if the coin has an error. A perfect MS 67 or MS 68 Delaware quarter with the spitting horse error could easily make even experienced collectors' hearts race. These coins represent the perfect blend of history, rarity, and beauty, and they continue to attract attention from numismatists and investors alike. So, before you spend your next quarter on a soda or parking meter, take a closer look at it. Flip it over. Examine the horse's mouth, check the details, and study the shine. You never know, What seems like a regular coin might just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Thousands of collectors dream of finding these rare coins, but sometimes luck favors the sharp-eyed. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for. How much could one of these rare Delaware State quarters be worth today? Well, if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with a visible spitting horse, error, or another rare flaw, its value can soar beyond imagination. Some of these extraordinary coins have been sold for an unbelievable $83,000. That's right, $83,000 for a single 25-cent coin. Imagine finding that in your coin jar or pocket change. It's like striking gold in the most unexpected place. So, always keep your eyes open, coin lovers, because treasures like these don't come around often. Thank you for joining me on this numismatic adventure. Top 2, I've got a tale about a quarter you'll want to inspect under a loupe. We're talking about the 2015 Kisatchie National Forest quarter from the U.S. Mint. A coin that seems ordinary until you spot something extraordinary. If you stick with me until the end, I'll reveal a jaw-dropping price that one of these rare varieties can command. So lean in and get ready to see just how wild the world of coins can get. This 2015 Kisatchie quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series. On the obverse is the familiar portrait of George Washington, but it's the reverse that steals your attention. A wild turkey in full flight, clawing through Louisiana's pine forest backdrop. It's a stunning design meant to celebrate the Kisatchie National Forest and its wildlife. It's beautiful, but in normal circulation it's just worth its face value, 25 cents. Now, for most collectors, that's where the story ends. But for the sharp-eyed and detail-obsessed, the magic lies in the errors and anomalies that lurk in seemingly common coins. And here's where things get exciting. First, let's talk about the mintage and variations. The standard 2015 Kisatchie quarter was struck for circulation in the clad composition, copper nickel, and in a proof 90% silver version, marked with an S, mint mark, used in proof sets. In usual grades, these coins trade for just a few dollars, sometimes only face value in worn condition. But that small base is what makes the rare errors shine. One type of error that shows up is doubling, a doubled die effect, sometimes visible in the letters, like Liberty or I in God We Trust. In the error world, that kind of doubling instantly grabs attention. Another is a struck-through error. Debris, grease, or foreign material interferes during the striking process, leaving blank or smudged areas. A 2015 D Kisatchie quarter with a struck-through flaw is known to have sold for amounts far above the norm. There's also chatter among collectors about die chips, misaligned strikes, or planchet defects. Though credible, spectacular examples are extremely rare. Now imagine a coin with multiple errors, in perfect mint state, MS grade, uncirculated, with every detail razor-sharp. That's when you cross into legendary territory. Because in the world of numismatics, quality plus rarity plus error equals magic. Collectors also prize coins that are certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC. A coin that's raw, that is, uncertified, even if error-laden, won't attract nearly the same bids. But a certified MS, 67 or above with a dramatic doubling or struck-through anomaly, that's the stuff of dreams. Let me walk you through the thrill of discovery. You pick up a 2015 Kisatchie quarter from a jar or drawer. You shine your light across the letters. You lean in, grab your loupe, and boom, you spot a ghost image under $quarter. You flip it. You find a smudge, a small void, a strange line disrupting the forest background. Your heart skips. You know you might be holding something special. You send it off to grading. Weeks later, the return envelope arrives. The slab says MS, 67 DDO double die obverse, or struck through ob/rev. You get chills. That's the moment when a humble quarter transcends its face value and becomes a treasure. In auctions, collectors compete fiercely for such specimens. The rarer the error and the higher the grade, the more feverish the bidding. What people are willing to pay can defy logic, because you're not just buying a coin, you're buying a story, a piece of minting history, and a one-of-a-kind artifact. What is a top example of a 2015 Kisatchie quarter worth in this rarefied zone? Imagine the most perfect, error-rich piece imaginable. The kind that sits in a frame under museum lights. The kind that makes seasoned collectors gasp when they see it. For that ultra-elite example, its price has reached the astonishing amount of $80,000. Yes, $80,000 for a single 25-cent coin. That's how powerful the combination of rarity, condition, history, and error can be. Top 3, we're diving into the history, design, and mystery behind one of the most eye-catching pieces from the United States State Quarter series, the West Virginia State Quarter from 2005. It's a coin that tells a story of engineering marvels, rich history, and hidden rarity that makes it incredibly exciting for collectors. So stay tuned till the end, because I'll reveal the unbelievable value that one of these rare coins has reached in the market. You might be surprised to learn that a small quarter from your pocket change could be worth more than you ever imagined. The West Virginia State Quarter was released in 2005 as part of the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program, a program that ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most successful coin series in American history. Each coin highlighted the unique identity of a U.S. state, and West Virginia's design was nothing short of stunning. It features the iconic New River Gorge Bridge, one of the highest and longest steel arch bridges in the world. Completed in 1977, this bridge symbolizes West Virginia's strength, resilience, and connection between its rugged landscapes. The reverse design, created by John Mercanti, beautifully captures this engineering masterpiece stretching gracefully over the New River. On the obverse side, of course, we see the classic portrait of George Washington, a timeless reminder of the United States' founding legacy. Now, at first glance, the 2005 West Virginia Quarter might look like any other coin you've seen. Millions were minted, and they passed through countless hands across the country. But hidden among those millions are a few rare treasures. Coins that contain fascinating minting errors or unique characteristics that make them highly desirable to collectors. And that's where the story gets interesting. Let's talk about what makes certain West Virginia quarters rare. Some of the most valuable ones are error coins, those that escape the minting process with visible mistakes. These errors can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even missing details. One of the most talked about varieties is the doubled die error, where parts of the coin's design appear to be doubled due to a misalignment in the die during striking. You might notice this doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," or "E Pluribus Unum." For coin collectors, that kind of doubling is like striking gold. It immediately adds a layer of uniqueness and historical intrigue. Another type of error seen on some 2005 West Virginia quarters involves die breaks, small raised lines or blobs that appear on the surface of the coin because the minting die developed a crack. These tiny imperfections are like fingerprints of the minting process, and the more visible or dramatic they are, the higher the coin's value. Then there are struck-through errors, which happen when grease, debris, or even small bits of metal interfere during the striking process, leaving unusual textures or missing elements. Each of these errors tells its own story and makes the coin truly one of a kind. Beyond errors, condition plays a major role in determining value. Coins graded as MS, mint state, meaning they have never been circulated and remain in flawless condition, can reach incredible prices at auction. Collectors prize those mirror-like finishes and sharp design details. The difference between a circulated coin worth a few cents and an uncirculated gem can be thousands of dollars. So, if you have a West Virginia quarter that looks especially clean, bright, and detailed, don't overlook it. It might be something special. The West Virginia quarter also holds appeal because of its historical and cultural significance. The New River Gorge Bridge isn't just an architectural wonder. It represents American ingenuity and progress. Every curve of the design captures the beauty of West Virginia's natural landscape and its importance to U.S. history. For many collectors, that connection between art, history, and craftsmanship is what makes collecting so rewarding. Now, imagine holding a coin that has all of this: a powerful design, a significant historical meaning, and a rare minting error that sets it apart from the rest. That combination is exactly what drives serious collectors into bidding wars and record-breaking sales. When a rare 2005 West Virginia State quarter surfaces in near-perfect condition, especially one featuring an error like doubling or a dramatic die crack, its value skyrockets. Certified coins, graded by top agencies like PCGS or NGC, often fetch the highest prices. These coins are sealed in transparent slabs that guarantee authenticity and preserve their pristine condition. High-grade specimens, those graded MS 67 or MS 68, are incredibly rare, and when you add an error or unique feature, the demand multiplies instantly. Think about this. Every coin that comes from the mint has its own journey. Some end up in cash registers, some get lost in drawers, and a few lucky ones end up in the hands of people who recognize their hidden beauty and worth. You might have handled one of these coins without realizing its true value. That's why checking your change carefully is always worth it. You never know what treasure could be waiting there. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, the real jaw-dropper. Some rare examples of the 2005 West Virginia State Quarter, featuring stunning errors and in top mint state condition, have sold for an astonishing $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for a single 25-cent coin. It's incredible how something so small can carry such enormous value. That's what makes coin collecting such an exciting adventure. You're not just chasing metal, you're uncovering history, art, and sometimes even a fortune.so. If you've got a few quarters lying around, take a closer look at your 2005 West Virginia coin. Who knows? It might just be one of those rare gems that turns an ordinary day into an extraordinary discovery. We're traveling back to the year 2003 to explore a stunning and historically rich piece from the famous 50 State Quarters program, the Arkansas State Quarter. It's a coin filled with symbolism, beauty, and mystery, and believe it or not, some rare versions of this coin are worth a small fortune. So stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal exactly how much one of these coins has sold for. And trust me, the number will blow your mind. The Arkansas State Quarter was released in 2003 as the 25th design in the 50 State Quarters series. This series was one of the most popular programs ever launched by the U.S. Mint, capturing the hearts of collectors and the general public alike. Every state got its own special design that represented its culture, history, and landmarks. And Arkansas chose a theme that reflected its deep natural beauty and abundant resources. The reverse side of the coin is a breathtaking image featuring a mallard duck gracefully flying over a lake, with a majestic diamond and stalks of rice in the background. The diamond symbolizes the Crater of Diamonds State Park in Arkansas, the only place in the United States where the public can search for real diamonds and actually keep what they find. The rice represents Arkansas's role as one of the top rice-producing states, and the duck is a tribute to the state's rich wildlife and outdoor traditions. It's a design that perfectly captures the spirit of the natural state. On the obverse side, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, which appears on all quarters. The combination of timeless design and detailed symbolism makes the Arkansas Quarter not just a piece of currency, but a small work of art in your hand. But, as with many coins in the series, not all Arkansas quarters are created equal, and that's where things start to get really exciting. Even though millions of these coins were minted, certain ones stand out because of rare minting errors and extraordinary conditions. These special features can transform an ordinary quarter into something worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. One of the most fascinating errors seen on some Arkansas quarters is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, causing the design elements or lettering to appear doubled. On the Arkansas Quarter, this doubling can sometimes be seen in the inscriptions or around the finer details of the design, such as the lines on the duck's wings or the edges of the diamond. Collectors go wild for this kind of error, especially when it's clearly visible and the coin remains in uncirculated condition. Another valuable variety includes the off-center strike error, where the image is not properly aligned on the coin's surface. The more noticeable the misalignment, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. There are also struck-through errors, where foreign material, like grease or metal shavings, gets between the die and the coin during minting. This can cause missing details or strange textures that make the coin truly one of a kind. Then there are die cracks and cuds, small raised lines or blobs caused by cracks in the die. These tiny minting flaws might look minor, but in the world of numismatics, they can turn a simple coin into a prized collector's item. Condition also plays a massive role in determining value. A heavily circulated coin that's been in change jars or wallets for years is worth only face value. but a mint-state coin, one that has never been used, with no scratches, dullness, or wear, can be worth hundreds or thousands of times its original value. Collectors and grading services like PCGS and NGC look for coins with sharp details, strong luster, and zero imperfections. A 2003 Arkansas quarter graded MS 67 or higher is already impressive, but if it also has an error or unique variety, that's when the value skyrockets. What makes the Arkansas quarter especially appealing to collectors is its elegant design paired with the allure of hidden rarity. It's one of those coins that beautifully captures the state's essence and yet holds surprises for anyone lucky enough to examine it closely. Imagine finding one of these coins in your old collection, shining like new, with a double detail or small minting flaw that sets it apart from the rest. That's the thrill that drives collectors, knowing that the next coin they inspect could be the rare treasure they've been searching for. The Arkansas quarter also has an emotional connection for many collectors. It represents a time when people of all ages were hunting through their pocket change, building their 50-state quarter collections, and learning a bit of American history along the way. For seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike, this coin brings nostalgia, artistry, and the excitement of discovery together in one small but powerful piece of metal. Now imagine you're at a coin show or browsing an online auction, and you come across a flawless Arkansas state quarter with an obvious minting error, a bold double die, or a striking off-center design. The bidding begins, collectors compete, and the price keeps climbing higher and higher. What started as a simple 25-cent coin suddenly becomes the star of the show, a rare gem that every collector dreams of owning. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. Some rare 2003 Arkansas state quarters, in pristine, uncirculated condition and featuring dramatic minting errors, have reached an unbelievable price of $76,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $76,000 for a single quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting. A small piece of metal, rich in history and beauty, can turn into a life-changing discovery. So before you spend your spare change, take a moment to look closely at your coins. That Arkansas quarter in your hand might just be your hidden treasure. Top 5, we're diving deep into one of the shining stars of the 50-state quarters program, the United States of America Maryland state quarter from the year 2000. This coin might look like any ordinary piece of change at first glance, but beneath its gleaming surface lies a story of history, artistry, and incredible rarity that makes it one of the most exciting coins a collector can find. So sit back, listen carefully, and stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal just how much one of these rare Maryland quarters has sold for. Spoiler alert, the number is jaw-dropping. The Maryland State Quarter was released in 2000 as the 7th coin in the U.S. Mint's legendary 50-state quarters series. This program captured the imagination of millions of Americans, turning everyday pocket change into collectible works of art. Each design represented the character, heritage, and pride of one U.S. state, and Maryland's coin is a perfect example of that spirit. The design features the famous Maryland State House in Annapolis, an architectural masterpiece and a symbol of the state's political and historical importance. The Maryland State House is the oldest state capitol still in continuous legislative use, and it once served as the nation's capital from 1783 to 1784. Surrounding the building on the coin are branches of white oak leaves, the state tree of Maryland, symbolizing strength, endurance, and tradition. On the obverse side, as with every quarter in the series, you'll find the timeless portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan. But it's that reverse design, elegant, detailed, and full of meaning, that truly makes the Maryland quarter stand out. The inscriptions, "The Old Line State" and 1788, remind us of Maryland's role as one of the original 13 colonies, and its nickname honoring the state's Revolutionary War soldiers who held the line with unmatched bravery. Now, let's get into what truly excites collectors, the rarity and the errors. Although millions of Maryland quarters were produced in 2000, only a handful possess the unique characteristics that make them worth thousands of dollars today. These valuable coins stand out because of minting errors, variations, and exceptional conditions that occurred during the coin's production. One of the most fascinating and sought-after errors on the 2000 Maryland quarter is the double die error. This happens when the die that stamps the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters or design details. You might notice this doubling on the words E pluribus unum, Maryland, or even on the finer lines of the State House roof. For error hunters, this is pure gold. The more visible and dramatic the doubling, the higher the coin's potential value. Another variety that grabs collectors' attention is the off-center strike error. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing or off the edge. The more off-center it is, without losing the full date and mint mark, the more valuable it becomes. These coins are often considered works of minting art by accident, and no two are ever exactly alike. Then we have die cracks, which appear as raised lines or small bumps on the coin's surface caused by cracks in the die itself. These might look like random marks at first, but they tell a fascinating story about the coin's creation. Some Maryland quarters even show these cracks running near the State House dome or through the white oak leaves, giving them a unique and collectible charm. And of course, let's not forget struck-through errors, where grease, dust, or small metal fragments interfere during the minting process, causing parts of the design to appear missing or faded. When this happens in a way that affects key design details, collectors go crazy for them. The stranger and rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Condition also plays a massive role in determining the coin's value. A Maryland quarter that's been in circulation, with scratches, dullness, or worn details, might only be worth face value. But an uncirculated or mint-state coin, one that has never been used and still has that fresh, mirror-like shine, can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC with grades of MS, 67 or higher are especially valuable. When a Maryland quarter combines high grade with a rare minting error, it becomes a true treasure. Collectors love the Maryland State Quarter not just for its design, but also for the story it tells. It's a coin that celebrates courage, history, and craftsmanship all in one. Every line of the State House, every leaf of the white oak, carries meaning, and when paired with rarity, it becomes an irresistible piece of American heritage. Many coin hunters across the country still search rolls of quarters, hoping to find that one perfect Maryland coin with a hidden error or flawless shine. Imagine pulling one out of your collection, looking closely under a magnifier, and realizing you've been holding a valuable piece of numismatic history all along. That's the kind of thrill that makes coin collecting so special. It's not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the stories engraved in every tiny detail. And now, my friends, comes the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Some rare 2000 Maryland State quarters, especially those with dramatic doubling or striking mint errors in pristine mint state condition, have reached a jaw-dropping value of $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single quarter. Imagine finding that kind of treasure hiding in your coin jar or collection. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. So, take a closer look at your coins, especially those Maryland quarters from the year 2000. Who knows? You might just be holding your own piece of American history and a hidden gem worth thousands. Thank you for joining me on this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another incredible coin story. Keep your eyes sharp, collectors, because your next rare discovery might be hiding in plain sight.